Since it came out, God of War has become one of the best games the PS4 has to offer. Now, as usual, I'm someone who gets to the party a little bit late. I didn't end up picking up and then eventually beating God of War until the beginning of last year. So, a decent start to my 2020, if I would say so myself. And since I beat it, it's kind of changed the way I look at video games. And it's especially changed the way that I look at video game endings. Now, to be completely clear, I am not talking about this ending.
Father?
No. We do it together. Son. Goodbye, Faye.
I love you, Mom. The Giants. They really are all gone. There's nothing for us here.
Come.
Not talking about that one. This ending was beautiful. The ending that disappointed me was this one.
I know.
What? No, Father!
I love you. Why do you even care? You could have walked away.
The cycle ends here. Must be.
So, Baldur is the main antagonist of the game. This guy right here. He showed up at Kratos' shack after the hunt in the very beginning of the game that almost destroyed the homestead. From here, we start our journey to scatter the ashes of Kratos' second wife, Faye. And then we run into Baldur a few more times because it turns out Homeboy's invincible. Literally. Big plot twist there. So we then meet the Witch in the Woods, and then we discover that this Witch in the Woods is actually Freya, the former Queen of the Valkyrie, who, in a General Hospital twist, is Baldur's mother. And Baldur's mother cast a protection spell on him to protect him. So as we approach this ending of the game, as we go to the different places of Norse mythology, we get this final battle between Kratos, Atreus, and Baldur. And now during the fight, we are able to break this protection spell. And we're actually able to damage him. We're actually able to punish him to get him to a point where he can feel something. We get Baldur on the ground and we are pummeling him and pummeling him and pummeling him. And then Atreus lets us up, tells us to stop, to get up, and that Baldur is finished. The man is beaten. Let's let him get up. We don't need to kill him. Like, all right. Thought it's a nice little moment. You know, you get this payoff from earlier in the game when Atreus kills someone when he has them beaten. And I didn't realize it until doing research that the end of God of War 3, the way you kill Zeus is you beat him to a bloody pulp so much that your entire screen fills up red. So it's a kind of cool little planting and then payoff here, and how, you know, we killed Zeus, but now we're going to let Baldur get up and let Baldur survive and let him live on in his new world. Until we start to walk away, Kratos starts to walk away. We're going to go scatter the ashes. Baldur faces off with Freya, and Freya gives herself up, allows him to exact his revenge on her. And before he's able to do it, we grab him, have his arm like this and neck like that, and then we snap his neck. There's no button prompt. I was expecting a button prompt. So much so that when you get into that moment before he is about to kill him, the second that Kratos grabbed him, I picked up my controller because I was expecting a button prompt. I was expecting to push a button and to kill Baldur. Now, I don't have a problem with Kratos killing Baldur. Maybe it wasn't our place, but maybe it was. I don't know. Fine. It doesn't matter. The Baldur fight sucked. And especially that one sucked. So I'm okay with killing the guy. He's an asshole. But it made me frustrated, the fact that we didn't really get any decision making. We weren't really a part of the process. I mean, it's during a cutscene that we're able to break the curse. It's minutes into the cutscene before Kratos snaps his neck. And considering the fight was this mix of gameplay and cutscene and QuickTime event, I was fully expecting a QuickTime event for us to hit the button and let Baldur die. But that wasn't there. Kratos just did it himself. So that ending really changed the way that I look at games since then. One of the more recent games I've beaten, I had an issue that took away from that ending. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 has become my favorite video game of all time. I'm sorry, Ocarina of Time, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is now there. And to be clear again, I'm not talking about this ending. I thought this ending was beautiful. I thought it was perfect. Wouldn't change it. The ending I'm talking about is this one.
You shot me.
You shot me pretty good.
Now, unlike in God of War, I'm actually happy that we were able to shoot Micah. What I'm not so happy about is how Micah just gets one more up on us. When we shoot Micah, I want his ass to fly backwards, just as all the other people we've shot in the game have done. Just as it happened in Red Dead Redemption when Jack goes and kills Agent Ross. Agent Ross flies into the riverbed and floats down. What we got instead is he gets shot, he stumbles over to the cabin, goes to say one last thing, and then falls over dead. That, for me, was just one more instance of Micah getting one up on John, Arthur, and I. Micah has been a thorn in the side of us in the gang since Blackwater before the game started. You know, the Strawberry Shootout where we kill half the town of Strawberry just to get his guns. The shootout in Rhodes that killed Sean. He was the one who tipped off the Pinkertons about the gang moving to Beaver Hollow after that little vacation time in Guarma. And he was even the one that made the gang leave John after the train robbery. We left John for dead because of Micah. And I wanted just one instance for Micah to get his, for his character to end the way that it should and not the way that Micah would have wanted. Now, these games did disappoint me with the way they ended. But when I look at these that disappointed me, I also have to look at the ones that really made me feel justified, made me feel fulfilled in the ending. And the first one that comes to mind is the ending of Modern Warfare 2. Now, I know it's a bit old. It got the remaster treatment, so it kind of popped back in my brain a little bit. But that moment sticks in my head when we pull out that knife, flip it around, and throw it into the eye of General Shepard. That was all just so satisfying. That moment of that, when that knife gets into Shepard's eye, that's just the ending that character deserved. This was a traitor to us. We trusted him. I trusted him. I was a dumb kid when I played it, but we trusted him. And for him to turn on us like that, that was the ending that his character deserved. And what makes that sequence better is the fact that we play a part in that entire process. We have to pull that knife out of ourselves. We have to aim that knife. We have to throw that knife. You know, it gave us that satisfaction. You know, he didn't get one final moment he didn't get one final time to give this movie star speech, this action movie speech. He didn't get that time. He fell over dead the way that I wanted Micah to die, the way that Agent Ross died. Now, the other game that I think has a very, very satisfying ending is Doom Eternal. Granted, doing just about anything in Doom Eternal is extremely satisfying, but especially that ending where you take on the Icon of Sin. This battle is massive. It takes every weapon you have. It takes everything you've collected along the way. We go through armor, health bar after health bar, and since it's Doom Eternal, loads of blood. And now the final blow against this big behemoth happens in a cutscene. Now, I said this was a satisfying ending. So the reason why this ending was satisfying was because A, the battle was long. It was a very, very long battle, and we deal a lot of damage to him. It's a little exhausting. It took me almost 45 minutes to an hour to beat him, and I played on the easiest difficulty. Number B, the reason why it doesn't bother me as well is the final blow happens seconds into the cutscene. We don't get Doom Guy walking around. I would say have a little speech, but he doesn't say a single word in the entire campaign. So there's that. But it's just boom. We kill the icon of sin. We saved Earth. We saved people. And the game's over. It's time to watch the credits. You know, comparing that to God of War, where there are minutes that elapse between the time that the cutscene starts, where Freya stops us, where Atreus gets Kratos off of him, to the point that we snap Baldur's neck. And when that happens, I say Kratos snap Baldur's neck, not we snap Baldur's neck. Just like I said, we killed the icon of sin. We killed General Shepard. We killed Micah. Somehow. We killed Agent Ross. We were a part of that. And instead of just watching Kratos do it, we worked through the Doomslayer. We worked through John. We worked through Soap. Now, it's not strictly first-person shooters that give me a satisfying ending. You know, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time. Any of these Mario and Zelda games. The Batman Arkham series, the Tomb Raider reboot series, Saints Row series, all of those end in a very, very satisfying way. It gives us the feeling that we were the ones responsible for that ending, and we didn't just watch the character do it for us. And, you know, it gave these characters that became our adversaries, that became our antagonists, it gave them the ending that they deserve. They didn't get to have one more triumph. They didn't get to have one more moment. Their moments were gone. Their moments were over. Of all the games that I've mentioned, I still think they're all very, very good games. I haven't put down Red Dead Redemption 2 since I started it 5 months ago. God of War is a game that I'm probably going to be starting at the end of the year, preparing for God of War Ragnarok. And it's God of War Ragnarok that makes me hope that it has an ending that allows us to work through Kratos and not just watch him take care of it. At the same time, I have to be realistic. I know ending a story is extremely difficult. We see it in television. We see it in movies. We see it in movie franchises. It's there in books. If you read books, you know. So, of course, we're going to see it in video games. When you're creating a story, you have to end it the way that you think is best. You know, you're the one who knows the characters the best. And video games are tough because there is the player element in it. That can't be taken away. So, you know, I know it's difficult. I know it's very, very tough. It's a lot of things to balance all at once. And at this point, I'm struggling to find a way to end the video.